Under the rainbow.
The Wicked Witch of the West may have not gotten her hands on those slippers, but somebody else did, and it took the FBI more than a decade to figure out who stole them from the Judy Garland Museum in Grand Rapids, Minnesota. Nearly 20 years after that heist, the thief, as you know, has been sentenced, and a co-conspirator was charged. And now the slippers are up for auction. The Grand Rapids Museum has been trying to raise money so they could buy them back and bring them to their city permanently. But there is a lot of rich competition, and the shoes are going to go home with the highest bidder tomorrow. Kent's here with an update on the effort of Grand Rapids as the time winds down.
Yeah, Gianna, it's a lot of competition. The high bid for the slippers right now is, $1.5 million. It's expected to go up a lot more from there, too, because the auction will go to live bidding in Dallas, Texas tomorrow. For that reason, the museum has been fundraising for months in hopes of making a bid tomorrow, and I caught up with the director today from Dallas just after she landed.
With just hours left before the so-called Holy Grail of Hollywood memorabilia goes to the highest bidder, the executive director of the Judy Garland Museum has a request.
Wish us luck. I think we're going to need it.
Janie Heights won't say how close the museum is to its $3.5 million fundraising goal, but despite having the slippers make a surprise return to the museum for a reunion with their owner earlier this year, followed by a $100,000 commitment from the state last spring to help kickstart the fundraising effort, she says bringing the slippers home for good will take much more than luck and heel clicks.
It's going to take a good chunk of money to make it happen. We're still actively raising funds and we need more. If anyone out there wants to contribute, call the museum, email the museum, and we're happy to take any requests.
What's the biggest question you've gotten in response to this fundraising effort?
How are you going to protect the slippers?
It is a valid question.
Yeah.
Considering
they were in a plexiglass case right here.
The same slippers were stolen from the museum in 2005.
They broke in through that door. They smashed the window on that emergency exit.
It took more than 13 years before those slippers were eventually recovered.
Now,
with a big assist from the FBI.
We know the security would need to be quite a bit better. We already have better security in the aftermath of it already. I have faith that we can do it. I even called Brian Matson, the police officer that helped recover them. And I was like, Brian, can we do this? Can we, in Grand Rapids, protect the ruby slippers? He was like, absolutely.
Even if the museum can't quite secure the bag and bring the slippers home, it has since leaned into its infamous role with their backstory.
This is right where they were stolen, right off this pedestal.
Adding special guided tours of the heist this year, which will continue with or without them after the auction.
No matter what happens, we're a part of that story, and it would be putting a bookmark in the story of the ruby slippers. I'm not going to say an end because you just never know what can happen at an auction or whoever buys them. We could still have opportunities out there, and there's 3 other pairs, so anything's possible.
Anything is possible. Janie says they realistically have until about 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon to keep fundraising. We'll have the email online for anyone who wants to reach out with deep pockets. However, if they fall short, she says they hope to connect with the buyer on touring the slippers. And they are also down in Dallas looking at maybe purchasing other memorabilia that's up for auction, including this door from Dorothy's home in The Wizard of Oz. She says it would be a fitting addition, of course, to Judy Garland's childhood home in Grand Rapids, Jana. And by the way, the bidding for that, it's like 15 grand. It's a little more doable.
I mean, it's charming. Thank you for finding the silver lining. I don't know how many people you attract to see the door that Dorothy once walked through like you do the slippers, but I like where you're going with that. Okay, well, if what happens that we think is going to happen, that Grand Rapids doesn't have enough money to buy these back, what happens to all the donations they already got? Do people get their money back?
Well, they did notify people that anything under $5,000 was a donation to the museum, so people knew that who gave. And those donations, we're told, will likely go to fund a miniature golf course, a Wizard of Oz themed miniature golf course next to the museum in the future. It'll help seed that next attraction.
So something could come to the museum in Grand Rapids.
Something good.
Thanks for following this all these years, Kent. We appreciate it.